Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we just finished a war with the US, and of course, we've got some issues because of it. We're working on it. We are currently building up some arms industries. This will all be finished in the next 3 months, allegedly. I'm not sure how true that is, but it probably is fairly true, actually. So that's looking decent. We're going to need to bring up our bureaucracy, and our financial situation is not amazing at this moment, but we will get there. We're only paying about 30k in interest right now, which is not too bad, really. And let's get all of this finished up, and we are, of course, going to work on getting some of this training done here, too. We've apparently got the 14th here. I guess we might as well make this into a real army. Why not? There's not really a reason not to. So we'll recruit 4 leaders here, something like that. And then we'll bring this up to be, well, we're going to need 6 here, so we can get 6 there. Then we're going to need an additional 20. So let's sort by job seekers, and we'll put in 20 in Uruguay. That should bring us up to plus 26. Perfect. And then also in Uruguay, we're going to do 15, and then an additional 15. Apparently we can't do that many. What are we at? 13? So we need 2 more in Los Rios? Sounds good. So that'll be fine. We'll get that completed very, very quickly in theory. So that looks good. We're going to be looking to fight Britain once we get our economy back under control and when we get our infamy down. Both of those things will happen fairly quickly in theory. Like, getting our economy back under control is literally just a matter of finishing our existing construction queue. That's all we need to do here. I want to check in on our market. In theory, private construction should be handling this, and it looks like they mostly are. Oil is still a problem, and this isn't surprising. Which reminds me, we should go into our mobilization options in here and go to the 14th. Turn on everything for them except opium, rail transport, and first aid. There we go. So that'll do for now. Large amounts of people are coming from the Heavenly Kingdom. That's fine. We've got, in theory, lots of jobs for them, but we are at 1.23 million peasants currently. So that is definitely noted. Okay. I think our private industry is probably unlikely to build anything agrarian. So that is certainly noted. Well, let's let these arms industries finish up for now. We're working on the government administrations and on some of these barracks, so that looks pretty decent. Fruitful endorsements, huh? The Free Trade Party? I mean, I don't really want the Free Trade Party to do stuff, but whatever. I guess it's fine. So we've got 9 weeks left in this construction queue. Once that finishes up, of course, we should be positive again financially. So that seems relatively fine. I'm not too concerned about that. I do want to think about putting all of these peasants to work, which would pretty much mean building some agriculture. So each of these are going to be arable land, and we're going to have to figure out what exactly that ends up meaning for what we want to build. That'll be kind of interesting. But for now, I just want to finish these current industries and let that just get done. Ideally, let's let the government administrations finish. By the time that's done, everything should be good. So this election looks fine. We're currently on contested government 70, and that is the best that we can do. Okay, wonderful. So that seems absolutely a-okay. All of these barracks will be done very quickly once we start actually working on it. Azerbaijani mass immigration, okay. Lots of people are coming here, and we definitely need to get these peasants put to work. There's no doubt about that. So let's start thinking about getting some of this agriculture built. So, what is the current highest value one? 0.72, 0.92, 1.67, so rice is the best so far, 1.08. Surprisingly, it is rice farms. So I'm going to max out the rice farms that we can build here. Some of these are not within our territory. That's understood. But let's just max out these rice farms for right now. Now, this is probably going to... Actually, this is going to destroy the price of rice. We should not be building these necessarily. So let's back off on these. And let's check in on the rice price. It's going to need a little less. Let's go to Santa Cruz. How's that doing? Better. But it's not perfect. Let's back off a little bit more in Santa Cruz. That's okay. And then in Alto Paraguay, let's back off a little bit. In Potosi, backing off a little bit. And then in Bajo Paraguay, this is actually maxed, so that's fine. And then here we can back off ever so slightly. By ever so slightly, I mean quite a bit. And then we can build here, 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 and here, like that. Okay, so that is a lot of things queued up behind this. However, that's going to be getting a lot of these peasants put to work, and that will definitely be a good thing. These government administrations are finishing now, but let's let a bunch of this construction get finished for the moment. So this is going to be a lot of rice farms. I'm actually going to cancel these rice farms. That was one in Para. I want to cancel these rice farms that are in our vassal. So let's go back in here. Let's give ourselves one in Para. But I want to cancel all of these because that's in our vassal and I don't actually want to build that. Okay, so that means that we can build more here. And so we shall. Something like that. Cool. I want this to be within our own territory. So now we can do the same thing for livestock ranches, actually. So that is increasing in value up until there. These are all vassal constructions. Now it's massively decreasing in value. So that looks correct for our livestock ranches. Then for maize farms, there's only so much maize farming that we can do here profitably, right? So we're just going to look to do something like that. That looks good. We've already done rice farms. So next up would be vineyards. And infrastructure is going to be a thing here for sure. Wow, we can build a lot of vineyards in Buenos Aires. Huh. This isn't really budging the price of wine. I think that the price of wine is too low to really justify doing this. So let's not build any vineyards at this moment. And we can go to wheat farms, nothing to be done. Banana plantations. Okay, we can definitely build a couple of banana plantations. The price of bananas, or rather the price of fruit in general, is already very low. So let's not build banana plantations. Let's check in on coffee. Coffee looks to be pretty decent. For now, anyway. So let's get a few of these going. Yeah, this seems reasonably fine for now. We're just looking to exhaust the price of... Or rather, looking to exhaust the demand for coffee. Okay, this isn't changing much at this point, so I'm going to move on. So at this point, we need to potentially get some cotton going here. And the price of cotton is holding pretty firm. I'm going to leave that be. Dyes, I do not want to build dye plantations. We've got synthetic plants for this. We're going to avoid this. Next up is sugar. Okay. We don't need all that much sugar. Let's just get that. Tea plantations. Now, this is probably going to be a decent cash crop for us. We'll do something like that, and then we've got tobacco. We'll max out the rest, if we can, with tobacco. And that'll be something like this, I guess. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that, and then we'll come back to our arable land after we complete all that. So that's going to be 10 months at this current rate of deficit, which is an extensive deficit. Don't get me wrong. No doubt about that. But it is improving, especially as we get our bureaucracy back positive. So that's better. And we'll get these arms industries online. And currently, we are at 1.38 million peasants. All of these barracks, they will be able to recruit peasants, but these rice farms and other farms are likely going to get that very thoroughly dealt with. So do we have any other resources that we want to get going here? I mean, if we had oil, absolutely. If we had access to any more oil, I would love to get more oil production. For now, this is as good as it's going to get. So if we go into our military, we could drop our oil production. Interesting. So aerial reconnaissance is definitely going to be a thing that we want. Military aviation is 7 months away, so we'll keep an eye on that. Once we get that, we will be most of the way through our construction queue here, and that sounds good. So these rice farms are going to be finishing up in relatively rapid succession, right? We're working on a lot of this simultaneously, and we will get through it. This is only minus 4% construction efficiency as well, so that's not too bad. Romanian people are moving in, and we're just trying to tackle this peasant issue at this moment. That's a lot of peasants. So let's work on that for right now. Are we at max tax? We are not. We may want to consider going up to max tax, but for now, I think we're going to not. I think we'll just hover here and see how that goes. So that looks okay for now. And keep in mind, our investment pool is still privatizing things, so they are working on paying off our debt, even though we are running a deficit right now. So that looks decent. And as we can see here, 1.36 million peasants at this moment. We'll wait for this tick. And we should be employing quite a lot of people, 1.42. Okay, let's check in on our production methods. I think we unlocked some, right? Diesel engines for motor industries. Okay, this is going to produce a lot fewer automobiles. This would break the price balance that we have going on here between engines and automobiles. And everything is on focusing automobile production. So I think that we can't really afford to go to diesel engines at this moment, unfortunately. I would like to be able to do that. Wheat farms can go to compression ignition tractors. That's going to raise up our oil consumption, though. So that is definitely noted. We've got these rice farms. We want to go to chemical fertilizers. We want to go to fig orchards as well. Okay, steam-powered thresher machines is okay, I guess. Rice farms can't go down any further than this, it seems, so that's okay. So compression ignition is going to mean more oil, and we probably can't afford that at this moment. We can, however, go to electric fences and refrigerated rail cars, and intensive wool gathering, and mechanized slaughterhouses is fine. Coal mines, we can go to the diesel pump. The real question here is for our oil. Can we change anything here? So, university oil rigs. Nope, these are as maxed as they're going to get. Okay, oil is going to be an issue. No doubt about that. So, what do we want to do about that? Well, first off, we're going to go to NCO Incorporation here. There we go. That looks fine. Now, I would like to get all of these brought up to diesel pumps. That would be ideal, but that's going to cause us fuel issues. This is understood, and we're going to tackle that by going into our military mobilization, and I'm just going to, for now, get rid of our motorized reconnaissance. So we're going to turn all of this off, and eventually we're going to hopefully look to go for aeroplane reconnaissance, but for now, we just can't afford the oil input. So that'll be okay. That'll drop the price of oil pretty heavily. That'll also drop how much we are spending on all of this. But I do think that only happens when it's mobilized, right? I'm pretty sure. Some of these don't have their extra rations on. So we'll get those turned on. But what are we doing for oil right now? 72? Yeah, that spiked it. Okay. Noted. Well, I would love to import some oil. I guess we'll do so from the American market. But it's about as good as we're going to get. We should probably stop reducing relations with the US, and we should start improving relations again. So we're going to need to wait out the expelling, but I don't want to damage relations anymore here. We got what we want from the US, so that is fine. Checking in on New Granada, they are dropping their Liberty Desire, and that's going down pretty quickly, actually, so that looks good. That's absolutely wonderful. We're still working on our rice farm production, so that is okay as well. We are eventually going to hit an input shortage of oil, I bet, and that's not going to be great, but About 500,000 is our current deficit. That's understood. How are we doing on our peasant numbers? It's going up. Okay. Well, we're trying to deal with our peasants and get them jobs, but it's definitely going a bit slowly. That's fine. So once we finish all of these constructions here in 9 months, we're probably going to try to do another round of agriculture expansion because we definitely need to grow our economy somewhat. We can see that our GDP is fluctuating quite a bit, and that's probably because of oil at this moment. The price of oil is going to be a bit rough. I would love if we could expand our oil production. Unfortunately, that's just not a thing at this time. Maybe once we take these guys over, or maybe we'll discover some oil in like Guyana or something, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. You can see our economy is recovering back up, but we're not quite to our peak. That'll take a little bit. That's understood. Oil is definitely an issue, and I would like to import whatever we can. We can't import from these because we need to have an interest. Okay, there's just not much oil available to import. So that is understood. That is definitely a bit rough. So to that end, we should probably consider bringing these guys back to tractors, or just moving our power plants overall back to coal. Just all of them. And that's what I'm going to do. We might end up with some electricity shortages. Yeah, that's not shocking. But that definitely dropped the price of oil significantly. Okay. So that looks good. I am interested in checking in on infrastructure here. So here in Cordoba, we know we're going to need at least 3. In Buenos Aires, we're going to need at least 2 levels of railway. Okay, so that seems fine for now. We're going to get those going right at the top of this list. North Caucasian people are immigrating. That sounds good. And we can see we have dropped our number of peasants. 1.39 now, so that looks good. More pops becoming loyalists. Sounds good. Excellent. So that is all reasonably fine for now. We do need to deal with the electricity situation, and I'm going to do exactly that. So, at the top of the queue, we're going to just do this. We are putting in, and this is actually at the bottom of the queue that this is going. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. So we're just going to put in a bunch of power plants at this moment. Modern battlefield tactics, yeah, that's fine. So we're just looking for these to be profitable, right? And we're just going through this list and getting whatever ones will be profitable. And I'm queuing up 10 at a time here. So we are making rapid progress through this. Something like that, in theory. So there's modern financial interests, or instruments rather, giving us minting, loan interest rate, and government dividends efficiency. That's pretty decent. We can queue up a few in Santa Cruz here, looks like, but there we go. So that's a bunch of power plants queued. No doubt about that. So this is all looking reasonable for now. We're working on livestock ranches at this moment, and those will be built very, very quickly indeed. So we're up to 80 million pop, and that's looking good. And we're currently spiking back up almost to our peak level. That looks great. So, how are things looking on the coal front? I see that coal is a little expensive. Plus 20? Sure. The price of oil is significantly better at this point, but let's queue up a few coal mines if we've got any. We do, but only in vassal areas. Okay, War Machine Industries are now available, and that is certainly noted. Let's grab mobile armor. There we go. That'll be fine. And I would like to get a few War Machine Industries. We're going to need just a couple of them. I'm going to put in, like, let's sort by job seekers, and in Buenos Aires, we'll put in 10. That's just to start, and that'll be fine. Now, those were put at the bottom of the list, and I'm actually going to move those up to the top, something like that. So the railways are still going to be worked on, as are a lot of these maize farms, and that seems absolutely fine. So we're going to continue to work on that for the moment. 18 months in this construction queue. We are going to want to put in probably some additional coal mines, and I'm going to put these at the top of the list. We're just going to max out all of these. There we go. So that'll give us as much coal mine. This went to the bottom? Really? I guess it did. Okay. Well, we'll move these guys right on up. I want to actually be on this page, so I want to be able to see where we are. Okay. So we're moving these guys right on up. And what is this construction efficiency? It's not too bad. So we do want to get these coal mines going here, and that will take some time. But I want to come down to the end of this, and I want to move up certainly the railways and the war machines here. Some of these maize farms I'm moving up too because I don't know what's in this slot. Now we're pretty sure that all of them have been moved. Okay. There we go. So we're going to get that going. That seems reasonable. We're now back to our peak GDP. This is still the number 2 GDP in the world behind the East India Company, but we're not far behind it. So that looks very, very good. In terms of our population, we're number 6 in the world. And our standard of living is number 1 in the world. So this is all looking great at this point. Our peasant count has dropped to 1 million. So that is also looking very good. So we do have some market access issues in Cordoba and Buenos Aires. Those should get solved by these railways, in theory. And then these coal mines should all be finished up reasonably quickly, actually. So we would be delighted to drop the price of coal a little bit. But we have to split our consumption between coal and oil at this point. We just don't have enough of both. And that's pretty normal, to be honest with you. So that's fine. We've definitely seen our credit holding fairly still here. There's a lot of privatization happening, and that is reasonably fine. Okay, so we're getting all of this construction done. We're 23 months away currently. So we definitely need to let this build for a little bit. But our GDP is skyrocketing at this moment. We're currently at, well, we were at our all-time cap at 421, but then it dropped down to 416. Probably just a standard fluctuation. I'm not too concerned about that. We are going to attack Britain fairly soon, but I want to get these war machine industries online first, and it'll probably be next episode that we're going to look to kick Britain off of South America. So that will be fine. Our GDP is definitely fluctuating a bit. Hey, there's 20 standard of living. I like it. And we have had some radicalism, but it is going down, I believe. What are we getting for this? 0 and, okay, 5K. If we were to enact free trade, everybody hates it. Everybody in power, anyway. So we probably shouldn't do that. Probably not. Besides, we're getting some income from tariffs. I don't know how much, but some. So our arts academies should be on film art and independent artists, for sure. And we can go to Battlefleet Tactics for our naval base now. That sounds great. Our logging camps can be on electric sawmills, which I'm okay with doing. Yes, I know that's going to potentially cause issues. As far as hardwood goes, we probably want to be about where we're at on that. And then chainsaws is going to use more oil. And steam donkeys uses more coal. So let's just put this for now on chainsaws, and we'll leave that there. The fishing wharves, we don't have flash freezing just yet. Railways, we could go to diesel trains. That's a terrible idea. We're not going to do that. We're on electric trains right now, and that's where we're going to sit. That allows us to use coal. So that'll be okay. That is very, very, very necessary. That all looks good. We don't have any millet farms. We don't have any opium. Our military shipyards are probably fine where they're at. And tooling workshops, I would like to get assembly lines. That will give us a little bit of oil cost increase, but that seems okay for now. We could back off of houseware plastics to crystal glass. And that alone would fix the oil issue. But I think we'll leave this be for right now. So that would be more oil consumption. That's understood. We don't really need luxury furniture. So for now, I think we're going to leave all of those production methods about where they're at. I'm not going to make any significant changes there. The war machine industries are finishing now. Perfect. So now I would like to give us aerial reconnaissance. We do lack the oil input for that. So if we were to fix that, we would go off of houseware plastics and onto crystal glass. So that will produce a fair amount less glass, and we would need to expand our glassworks quite a lot if we were to do that. But that would let us put the oil into our war machine, which would be pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. For now, we're just going to sit here. I think we need to finish up a bunch of constructions as it is. We can probably expand our glassworks in a number of locations. Yeah. So let's just do something about like this for right now. I'm queuing this up at the bottom of the list. And we would be looking to get rid of all of the existing demand. Like that. And that should, in theory, be enough to allow us to switch over. At which point we would be interested in attacking Britain, for sure. We might be interested in attacking Britain before. But that would definitely do the trick. So we're working on coffee plantations at this moment. That looks good. Next up is going to be cotton and tea and tobacco, and then we get into the power plants, and that looks fine. So we've got a lot of investment ahead of us here, but we are looking to attack Britain fairly soon. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see how this is looking. We might do it next episode or the one after. We're getting very, very close here, though, either way. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.